Alrighty, let's do this all over again. Welcome to the VidIQ Tuesday channel audit live streams with your host, Rob Wilson. We are now on officially / unofficially episode 278.3 or season 5, episode 4. It's been a journey. It continues to be a journey. We welcome you onto the creative YouTube journey. How many times can I crowbar the word journey into the beginning of this live stream? I did notice somebody in a chat saying hello from Vancouver. Hey, I'm from Vancouver as well, but I'm not going to tell you exactly where, just to protect my identity. Other people's identities who need protecting are all of our co-hosts, because we are scared of giving the wrong advice and then these people coming down to find us in the real world. I don't know why this has got suddenly all scary and morbid, but let's throw over to Dan to see what his thoughts are on that.
Happy journey to you.
Happy journey to you. How are you, Dan, doing today?
I'm doing journey. How are you?
I'm also on the big journey that is life and YouTube. Introducing our third person who's on this incredible journey, but through that journey, he does it in suave sophistication and a little bit of coolness. It is Jeff. Welcome back, Jeff. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay, glasses. Man. I should have changed my name to L Journey Reviews.
L Journey Reviews. Yes,
that's right.
Indeed. And now, ratchet up your volume levels. Let's get ready for a bit of passion, a little bit of fire.
Take off your headphones.
Yes, here we go. I'm going to give the next 20 seconds over to this gentleman to introduce himself to the channel auditing world.
Woo-hoo! Yeah, baby. What's up, people? This your boy Viper, the man about tech, executive producer here at the IQ, and we are live. Woo!
If that doesn't pump you up for live streams, then I simply don't know what will. Let's say hello to some people who are in the chat. Joe's phenomenal, saying hello to all of us. That is so appreciated that you've welcomed us all. Usually they just say hello to one person, which is fine, but Joe's phenomenal knows us all. Thank you for the Queen Elizabeth wave there as well, Jeff. That's yeah.
That's how you wave to crowds of people.
Hello, hello, everyone. Some people are saying journey, so let's try and find these people who are saying journey. One person said it, and I've lost them. Dag nabbit. Right, so let's say hello to the Oxoip 56, Whiskey Alpha Pilot. Is that supposed to be Burns Night rather than Verns Night? Have you misspelled it? Yeah, V is next to the B on the keyboard, so I'm assuming you're meaning the poet Robert Burns from Scotland. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, I think it's Jimmy James who's in Vancouver. So hello to you too. And hashtag Johnny. Johnny. Okay. Yep. To counter Snowy. Dan, say hello to some people.
Okay. This person said journey. So hello to B-Boy Dalton. This person, hashtag journey to Bear YouTuber. And happy journey to Reborn Babies and Roleplay. Our Honey Days. That's a long name. There's a lot of vectors in that name, a lot of things going on in that name. I want to explore the name more later in the show. Bricks Cat, happy journey to you. And Ash R, happy journey to you.
Jeff, your turn.
Hey, so let's say hello to, we've got Mustiff in the house. Who else we got? We've got Rael Reynolds Art. And who else we have? We've got the Okapi clan. And we've got Luffy Cat. What's up,
I
Luffy
love that
Cat?
name. Great name.
Luffy Cat. I think people are just trying to say journey in as many different iterations as possible. Somebody just removed all of the vowels out of it. Maybe we're going to turn this into a little bit of a game of Wordle.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You know, like if you just people are slowly getting around to the correct spelling. Where else is this live stream going to go? Are we going weird and wonderful directions? Viper, your turn. Say hello to some people who are either saying Journey or Johnny now.
Ovation caption. We got hello to Linky. Hello, Mistiff. How you doing? We got Foul Gaming. That's the name right there. Oh my goodness.
Look at the chicken with the savage glasses on.
Yeah, the thug life glasses on that chicken.
We got the Data Digest. Hello to you. And last but not least, Dan Downey. Hello.
#Jenny. All right, so you are here for this wonderful couple of hours of channel auditing. And if you are a regular here, then thank you very much for joining us once again. If you are new here, do let us know in the chat, and our regular video viewers will do that wonderful welcome to you. And in 60 seconds, this is what we're going to do for the next couple of hours. Welcome to the VidIQ Channel Audit livestream, where we review your YouTube channels. To submit your channel for review, make sure to fill out the right form linked in the video description. Note that we clear these forms after every livestream, so make sure to resubmit the following week. Channel audits are free, so please don't send us a super chat or spam us in a chat expecting a review. If there are alternative ways to get picked for an audit, we will let you know during the livestream. If we don't get around to reviewing your channel today, VidIQ has a channel audit tool working 24/7 with you. Make sure to download our tools and use the 30-day free trial using the link in the video description. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, experience and passion as fellow YouTube creators. I want to give a huge shout out to all of our moderators who do a phenomenal job every single week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As for all of you, well, thumbs up if you enjoy this live stream, subscribe if you love it, and if you know of a fellow creator who may find all of this stuff useful, please do share it with them. And with all of that being said, let's start auditing your channels. I did actually do a live poll to find out who likes it and shares it, and 66% of you have liked this live stream. Which is about right for the numbers that we've got here. 750 votes, 400 likes. That's about 60%. Only 2% of you share this live stream, though. Why is that? Do let us know in the comments. Although 11% of you have liked and shared it, and then a final 21% haven't done any of that. So boo rah to you. I'm not going to audit your channel, even though I've got no way of knowing whether or not you actually did that. Or you didn't. Housekeeping, as always, we continue to support the COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund with any super chats. Thank you in advance, but there is no obligation. We are a channel auditing service for 2 hours a week, and we cannot audit every single channel that submits. We typically get about 800 submissions, if not more. So what I recommend you do right now, if you can, is bring up your channel on a second screen. So when we're talking about many of the fundamentals that we talk about every single week, you can see how those may apply to your channel. And last but not least, Dan, I love the way that you're kind of miming everything that's going on as I talk about, you're sort of agreeing, you're nodding, you're pointing. I'm loving that. So next up, we have the tools that are available to you 24/7 when we're not doing channel auditing. Just to give you an example of one of these, the Keyword Inspector. I don't know if you noticed, but in the last couple of weeks, the cryptocurrencies have been all over the place. And right now, they are a very hot topic in terms of keyword research. So if you were a cryptocurrency channel, you want to be talking about blockchains, Bitcoin news, Bitcoin predictions, etc., etc. Hot topic for you. But you can type in any keyword, and this research is going to give you just an overview of where you currently are at and what might be the key words to investigate in your video topic. That is a keyword research tool. It is part of our wonderful festival of tools that we have. And if you want to use these tools for free for the next 30 days, if you're a brand new customer, make sure to use the link in the video description. Hang on, Dan. Hang on. Let me do that again. Make sure to use the link in the video description. There we go. All right, then. With all of that being said, I'm sure you want us to get on to actually auditing your channels. So let's take a look at the first channel that submitted this week. They go by the name of SlavMakesStuff. And I will just open it up to our group of auditors for your first impressions. Whoever wants to chime in first, go right ahead.
I like these thumbnails. They're very artistic.
Straight to the point, too.
That said, sometimes it takes me a little bit to figure out what it is they've made. Like no screws is standing out to me, and you got this light thing, and it takes a little bit because it took me a little bit to realize, oh, this is a cover you would put over your light.
Right.
and it says no screws, which is very like once you put all these pieces together, that's very interesting. But it just took me a little too long.
Yeah, I see what you mean there. So let's go back to your first instinct for a second there, Dan, and talk about just the thumbnail and how it grabbed your attention. How is it doing that?
The contrast, I think. It's a nice looking photo, and they've cut out the light fixture and they've put a stroke on it, so it kind of pops off this dark background.
Yeah,
and it just looks really professional in that way. So it made me kind of want to figure out, well, what is it I'm looking at, which is in their corner. That might be good. But then when I got lost, is like no screws. And I was like, wait, what am I looking at? Like no screws in what? Like, what does that mean? So I guess good photo, but text kind of threw me. It was a little confusing to me.
Yep.
And that's been Dan's minute.
Thanks for coming to my Dan talk.
What do you think, Jeff?
No, I like it overall. I mean, I think the thumbnails look strong. Can you make this? No screws, bonus feature. So it's keeping the text to a minimum. I mean, obviously this channel got to, nearly 10K, for a reason. So the titling is on point. They're keeping it short and concise. They're not doing too much with that. So, I mean, and they've got a few of them that are here, like, 4 above 200K, 2 at 100K. So very good. Nothing quote unquote viral, which is good. You know what I mean? So even if most of the subscribers came from the Ultimate Welding and Work Part 2 video from 6 years ago, even if that's the case, conversion is still kind of good on that, if you ask me. So yeah, overall, I mean, I really like it. The stuff looks pretty clean. Even the older videos weren't that bad. These newer videos with the thumbnails are really clean. Yeah, restoring a 1944 trench shovel. Okay.
I think where some things could be a little bit better with the thumbnails, like the latest thumbnail, can you make this? And it's a pizza peel, and it says pizza peel, so I know what that item is just after putting it all together. But wouldn't it have been better to have some, even if you didn't put your face in it, have your hands holding it with a pizza on it? Like that would have been a much bigger like light bulb for the viewer. And instead of can you make this? No, you're going to show me how and give me the confidence to make it. So therefore you can make this or make your own or something like that. Or no text at all.
Yeah. Yeah, totally fair. Give somebody a reason to want to click on it.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this question, the trio of you. Who do you think this channel is for? What is the target audience?
That's a good question too.
I would say, woodworkers, handy people, DIY project types. There is a target audience for this.
Do you think it's the people who want to do these projects themselves, or people who enjoy just watching the creative process and thinking and looking at something and say, oh, that's unusual? I guess when you describe it one way, Jeff, it's quite a niche audience. There's probably going to be a small number of people interested in the topic. But if it's just for any casual viewer to find this stuff interesting, then the audience gets much wider. And I'm wondering if the messaging is right here from the channel.
Yeah, I mean, I get exactly what you're saying, because there's going to be a little bit of crossover there. I'm on the side, personally, as a viewer, I'm on the side of people who like to watch stuff being made. Doesn't necessarily mean I know how to do it or have the facilities to make this stuff. But I like watching this stuff. Like I love watching like restoring old tools and things of that nature. Those videos are incredibly satisfying. So I love watching that stuff, but that's a different target audience than somebody who's going to be making something. So I think that's what we're sort of getting the mixed message, because he's kind of targeting two different audiences with that kind of content. So there, even though there's crossover, I think one content is going to be stronger on their channel than another. So I guess it just kind of depends. And some of those restoration projects can be very time consuming. So it isn't like a video where you can sit down and knock it out in a day. This is hard work. Like this is real labor. So
maybe if we
sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish off before.
No, I was just saying, I just, they might have to kind of figure out which way they want to go, or they can continue doing it this way, but they might have to have lower expectations of one or the other content.
If we take these 3 videos, like, who do you think that video is for?
So it's 7 minutes long, and it doesn't say how to make this whatever feature this is on a workbench. You know what I mean? So it kind of feels like I'm going to show you this cool thing. Maybe it gives you a little bit of inspiration. So if you are somebody who's very handy, you don't necessarily need the tutorial, just the idea. But yeah, if this is meant to be a video for somebody who would make this themselves, I'm not getting that from the title or the thumbnail.
Right.
I'm getting, hey, check out this cool thing.
Who do you think this video is for?
People who perhaps go out and buy things to upcycle.
Okay, and then who do you think this video is for?
Probably literally anybody.
So the vibe I'm getting from you, Dan, in particular, is you're not quite sure what each video, the target audience is. And even when you do come to a conclusion, there seem to be quite disparate audiences in each of these. So each video is not really what's the through line perhaps isn't quite being established yet, is maybe where I'm trying to go with the questioning here.
Yeah, this person's really good at DIY, and they like to do a lot of different types of DIY projects.
Yeah.
So now it's a matter of taking that skill and targeting it at one person. So how to make Christmas ornaments, and the thumbnail's cool, and it says easy, and I feel like it's 8 minutes long. I'm probably going to learn how to make these little Christmas ornaments. But then the next one is shovel restoration, which for me, I mean, how many people are trying to restore a shovel? Not many. So that's probably more of a satisfaction. Sit.
Yeah.
So I'm going to sit and watch that, just like Jeff said earlier, for that satisfaction of seeing it get done. It did very well from a year ago. It, 1.7K views, not bad. It had its time and then it kind of tapered off. But yeah, totally different audience. And then the Halloween one, they probably heard advice that said, make stuff for the holidays. So they did that. But 2 months ago, maybe not. They kind of missed it. But anyway, let's say they did that right before Halloween. It might have gotten some views, I guess, but what is it? Like you are going to show me how to make that? It almost doesn't look like a pumpkin. I have to know that from the title. So yeah, there's a lot of questions that video raises.
Now, the final point I want to make, and then I'll throw it over to Viper if he has any final thoughts here, is when I mouse over the videos, looks like the production value is pretty high. They're putting a camera in a considered position, and there's almost perhaps a visual satisfaction element to some of these. I'm thinking, as an experiment, it might be worth repurposing some of this content into like 30 to 40-second shorts, probably on a different channel, just as an experimentation. Because I think there might be something in there for the casual viewer in terms of making these objects and these things. Yeah.
Can you sort of the pizza peel one, like just to see? Yeah. See, I feel like if this person went all in on satisfaction, I agree with the shorts idea too. Like make these into like 30-second clips or something, see what happens. But if you went full satisfaction, and made that more clear in the titles and the thumbnails, like I could watch these videos. I would never want to make this for myself, and I'm not going to, but I've watched videos like this close-up stuff, things that this pizza peel came from nothing, and then by the end of the video, you have this whole cool thing. I love stuff like that, So I think if you went all in on that, there's a huge audience for that on YouTube.
The production quality seemed really high there as well, even though my video internet wouldn't allow me to show you that in too much detail, because he was doing a narration and voicing over it as he was making the pizza peeler as well. All right, final thoughts, Viper, if you have any, before we move on.
Yeah, so number one, I would be careful about the color text that I use on the thumbnails, especially against a light background, because some of this text is hard to read. But number two, and more importantly, the upload frequency or lack thereof is just not there. We got 1 year, 2 months, 1 month, 2 weeks. Like, my dude, I mean, I understand that these videos might take longer to make, but this upload frequency that I'm looking at right now is not going to work if you want to grow your channel. Now, if you're just doing it as a hobby, then hey, more power to you. But if you actually want to grow your channel, you're going to have to figure out how to upload a little bit more frequently than what you're doing right now.
Yeah. Which is why
restoration channels.
Repurposing content might be one way of pushing out a little bit more content, but not necessarily on this channel. Go ahead, Jeff.
Oh, no, I was going to say some of the restoration channels that I watch are on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
But they're consistently monthly over the past few years. And there's another one that I watch where they break the projects down into 3 parts. Or like 3 parts, 4 parts, depending on what, and then they'll be able to pump out a video a week. Like, here's progress I made on this, progress I made on this, progress I made on this, and then 4th one, the final product, something like that. So there's ways of doing it if they want to do it that way. But I agree with Viper completely. Consistency goes a long way. Showing up goes a long way.
One thing that I'm noticing that's kind of a trend with this channel is out of a number of these videos, they're kind of tool related, like the pizza peel and the shovel and the knife and the wrench key. So if they went all in on either creating from scratch or restoring tools, or maybe a combination of both, you might accumulate a lot of tools, right? You might accumulate a lot of stuff in your garage. But that's kind of the Jeff, you can attest to this, and Viper, you guys tech channels, right? You probably have a bunch of tech that you got for a video and now it sits on a shelf somewhere, or you gave it away, or whatever you had to do with it. You're going to have that issue, but you're trying to create a channel with a consistent upload schedule. So if you're here asking us how to grow, that needs to come first. Figuring out, so you need to go to junkyards, wherever you get the stuff to restore. You need to be like putting this into your daily routine so you have content to make.
I think, Dan, they just have a bunch of Lego. That's what I hear. That's all. That's all tech channels do in their.
I forgot. You're right. I forgot.
Okay, so just to reinforce what I said earlier in the live stream, we've talked there about thumbnails. We've talked there about audience and messaging. We've talked there about consistency. 3 fundamentals that you could take and objectively look at on your channel. So pay attention to all of the things that we're talking about, even though we're now going to look at a gaming channel. So we have 2 forms. We always look at the first non-gaming channel that submitted their form when the live stream went public yesterday. And now we're looking at the first gaming channel to submit. And they go by the name of Zenbloke. And they have 400 subscribers, or just over 400 subscribers. And due to the PS5 controller, I would hazard a guess that this is a gaming channel of some description. Dan, we always throw it to you for first thoughts.
I have some thoughts.
You do? Okay.
My first thought, first of all, I like the name of this channel. I can see them kind of in their like channel profile picture. They look like fun-loving person, someone I'd probably like to know more about. But when we get into the content, I'm seeing vagary. It's
vagary.
It is very, very, very painfully vague. And I'm not trying to be mean. I think this is one of those things where I think maybe no one said this to you before. Here I am. I think you should be more specific about what you're doing in any of these videos. So, for example, you have a series running right now on your channel, Support Scottish YouTubers, episode 7. Is that a podcast? Does it have anything to do with gaming or being Scottish? Like, I want to support Scottish YouTubers. I want to support as many YouTubers as I can, but I can't, that doesn't draw anybody in. Like, just saying support Scottish YouTubers isn't enough. You're not even really saying you're a Scottish YouTuber, in fact. So I'm not even sure I'm not sure on any level what those are about. And yeah, scrolling over them, I'm not sure either. I'm sure there's a point to all of these, and that's what needs to be brought forth in the title and the thumbnail of all of your videos. Your design here looks like a video about t-shirts, maybe. So maybe you sell t-shirts. It's hard to say. Something about Activision. Now, given the news, we know that Microsoft is buying Activision Blizzard, but there's no, like, the Xbox logo is hidden behind the timestamp. So that's an interesting concept for a thumbnail. Dr. Evil representing Microsoft. All of that's very interesting, but the execution could have been a bit better. And your logo on all these thumbnails changes in size constantly, and it's so distracting. It always pulls my eye away from what it was you were trying to focus on. The best part about YouTube is that when people find your videos, your avatar is underneath like all of them. So you don't need your logo on your thumbnails. I know people do this for branding, and in some cases it's fine. But in this case, I would say it's pulling a lot of focus from the videos.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to go in on this person. I genuinely want to help. It looks like their focus is PlayStation when you do scroll down, and that was clear from the banner. And it could still be clear in today's videos that you're making, but support Scottish YouTubers is not clear at all. There's nothing about PlayStation in that at all. Like, I'm not getting that from those titles or those thumbnails, and I don't think anyone else will. You want people who have never heard of you before to see your videos pop up and recommended and go, hey, I didn't think of that. That's cool. Or I want to know more about that. And you want them to click on it.
Yeah. No, I agree. The supporting support Scottish YouTubers. He's in the chat and he said it's him supporting other gaming channels. If you're gonna do that, I wouldn't use the hashtag as the title for this episode.
No.
That I would not do that. If you want to support them and stuff like that, I would probably say, hey, this is why I like so and so, or 5 reasons you should be watching blank channel. Something along those lines. But you at least want to use their name in the title if this video is about them, because you have to think about how many people are actually using that hashtag. I mean, really think about that. How many people are actually using that hashtag?
Right.
And if it doesn't make sense, it might make sense to you, but if it doesn't make sense to a general audience, then it's not really worth using. You can always use the hashtag in your video description and it'll pop above the title, but you want to use an actual title. Like that's one of the things where you really want to do that.
I'm going to throw in a really big curveball to that concept of supporting Scottish YouTubers as well. If the YouTubers you're putting in these videos are people you're trying to help drum up viewers for them, right? So you want to support them in that way. If you're presenting your audience, these YouTubers, and there is no actual crossover there, if that audience you're trying to get over to their channel isn't really interested in their content, you're actually doing the opposite of supporting them. You're actually harming their channels in theory. I don't know what these videos are. Maybe the audience crossover is perfect and I'm wrong, but if that's even a little bit off, you're drawing people away from your channel to go to this channel because they're your fans and they're like, sure, yeah, I'll help you out for this one time. They're going to subscribe. YouTube is going to push that YouTuber's content to your viewer, and your viewer will go, yeah, it's not really my thing. They're not going to click on it. YouTube's going to be like, wow, everyone who subscribes to this channel doesn't click on the videos, and they're going to stop recommending the content. So it's confusing everything. And this is why these efforts of like, not sub for sub per se, but like pushing people around on the platform don't really work. People need to be out there building their own audiences 9 times out of 10. So this is not, I would say if that's what's going on, that's not quite the right way to collab. You want to find channels similar to yours, similar audience interests, and then come up with a more creative collab that isn't just a shout out, and I'm only getting that from the title and the thumbnail. Maybe the actual content way different.
Dan, that was a lot of thoughts. An encyclopedia of thoughts. I want to look at 2 thumbnails in particular here. This one is an interesting one in that it feels like the creator has tried to be a little clever, but in being clever, it's requiring a little more thought from the viewer to understand what the video is about. And especially when it's something along the lines of tips, which is probably a search-driven title, you want to provide a hint or a solution to one of these tips in the thumbnail to entice them to click. Because right now, the thumbnail is doing very little, especially, again, given the fact that the logo is so big and so distracting. And then this one, where it's thoughts and opinions on the new PlayStation VR. Again, instead of just having these question marks and this logo, which are a bit difficult to read because it's red text, black text, add something of conversation, controversy, opinion in the thumbnail. Whether you hate it, whether you love it, whether this is going to crush the metaverse, etc., etc. Tease something that makes me click on this thumbnail to get into a video.
I mean, even if that was just them wearing a fake version of the headset and it said the worst VR headset question mark, like something like that is going to, even if you don't agree with that point, people are going to click on that. Like, excuse me, they're clicking on that video.
So just thinking about how the thumbnail is going to do a better marketing pitch for each of your videos is definitely something to look at. And I would say the absolute first thing you want to do, as I think we'll all agree, is just get rid of that logo because it's not doing the channel any favors at all, in my opinion. And I assume most of us' opinions.
Yeah. I do hope that this YouTuber does not think we're trying to blast them right now with criticism. We're literally only here to help. And genuinely, we want to see you succeed. We have someone in our community who does PlayStation content named Doctorius. So we've seen what a successful PlayStation channel can do and can pull in terms of audience. And I think that you have so much potential here with your interest, and you have the finger on the pulse. You are all in on the news in this category. So there's so many positive things here. and we just want to help. And I feel like, because people are like, wow, Dan, I do apologize for
No, dude, it's
coming right in.
It's here's the thing, right? If people wanted us to sugarcoat stuff, then they wouldn't be here. If people want actual help, they should be paying attention and taking notes.
Yeah.
Because you're not speaking from a position of somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about. So, and mind you, just to be clear, for everybody, including Zenbloke, people pay people big bucks to get advice like this.
Yeah.
So it's something that I would definitely make sure you're paying attention to, because I think, being that he has his finger on the pulse, I think it's really about just optimizing title and thumbnail strategy.
Yeah.
I think that would go such a long way in messaging, because he could have the most amazing opinions. He could be really funny. He could be super articulate. He could have awesome opinions, but the packaging is not doing him any sort of justice.
Even with like the GIF form we see when we put our cursor on any of the videos, they look like they have a ton of energy.
Yeah. Yeah, and they've got the green screen, so they're doing something like a full green screen background, so they're doing something unique. And unlike the previous channel that we looked at, they're consistent. They're posting 2 or 3 videos a week. So they have the passion, and they have the consistency as well.
Likely the on-camera presence too. I mean,
yeah.
All that stuff seems to be working. Sorry to interrupt you, Jeff. I just noticed that they were, really, you could just tell from the silent clip we're seeing, like, this person's into what they're talking about.
Yeah, and even I know Viper knows how much of a difference it makes when you can adjust the packaging of a video, because you can have an amazing video, but if your packaging sucks, it's not going to go anywhere. And I think what was it just yesterday where you changed the thumbnail on the video and it was like boom. So yeah, packaging, man.
Speaking of Viper, let's look at the next channel, which I think, Viper, you picked, NFL Analyzer. And just before we jump into this, like, I'm not a huge American football fan. I'll watch it on occasion. I'll watch the Super Bowl. How dare you? But what an incredible weekend of sport within the NFL. Like, 3 games being ended by field goals, and then the Chiefs versus the Bills. And there was like 30 points scored in the last 4 minutes. I was on the edge of my seat, and I don't understand really what's happening.
Yeah, it was quite the weekend for sure. As far as this particular channel, NFL Analyzer, I'm going to guess that your whole purpose is to provide NFL analysis. Well, judging by what I'm looking at here, this is not really analysis, judging from your title or thumbnail. This is more of your kind of like your thoughts about the best TDs or every Jonathan. Like, I mean, maybe you're actually providing analysis in the video, but I can't tell from the title and thumbnail. Like, it just seems like you're being more of a fan and like looking at this from a fan perspective, as far as opposed to an analysis perspective. Now, this top QBs of the season, that's more like that's more of an analysis type video, as opposed to the best playoff TDs. I mean, I don't know. I would just be very careful about how you intention your titles and thumbnails. Like, if you're going to be providing analysis, then it needs to be made painfully clear that, yes, this is analysis. This is what happened in this particular play or touchdown. So, yeah.
The other thing too, I was going to say, is timing, man. This channel started 2 days ago at the end of the season. Yeah. Like, what are you doing? Now, I get it. You can pull good views right now because NFL is trending. We're at the end of the season, but here's the thing: views are about to fall off a cliff because the season's about to end. So, just for anybody who's thinking about getting into something like this, make sure you start this before preseason.
Yep. So
make sure but at least now they're laying the groundwork. But one of the things I would say is, for next season, start getting your content ideas, start getting your stuff ready for next season. Like, especially during the off season, you want to be talking about, the hiring. You want to be talking about the coaches, the managers, right? Viper knows what I'm talking about. You want to be in the conversation for the teams that didn't make the playoffs, that didn't make the championship. Start, kind of thinking about those topics as well, because you're going to need something to talk about in the meantime until preseason starts.
Yeah, you could probably do, just based on everybody who gets fired once the seasons end and everything, you could probably do weeks worth of content on, like, well, okay, all these people are on the market now, so like, where could they go? And in terms of being NFL Analyzer, you could be analyzing like like which teams could these players best fit on, and that you could do a bunch of content leading into preseason.
Yeah.
Dan, why was your first thought onto who gets fired?
That's what happens
Who
as
gets
soon as
sacked?
No, it's
as
true
soon
though.
as
I
football
know, I
ends,
know, I know.
they fire everybody. It's ridiculous, and then they all just go to other teams. It's a big reshuffling. It's very silly. NFL is super silly.
Yeah. Viper's
And
been
it's
talking about
referring
this on
to,
Twitter.
Black Monday. That's what Dan's referring to.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. It's the whole sport is a very, very silly. The business end of it is a game. The game is a game. So just have fun with it, you know.
Dan attempting to alienate as many sports enthusiasts as
What?
possible.
No, I get listen,
NFL,
I get it.
Hashtag NFL is silly. Is that a hashtag that we can
I
get
think
going
they'd
on?
agree with that. I bet you that's gonna be their new slogan next year if that trends.
Now, I'm going to say in defense of this channel, even though they've got the timing completely wrong, they've produced a lot of content in these 2 days that they have been live.
Mhm.
And again, just a little bit in defense here, Viper. You know, they do call themselves the NFL analyzer, but you do allow somewhat of a license and liberty for a creator to test what's going to work on their channel, be it listicles of the best playoff touchdowns or opinion pieces like the real reason why the 49ers won in Green Bay. And the views are, I would say, relatively strong for a channel that's very, very young. But you are absolutely right, all of you, in terms of what on earth is this channel going to do in 4 weeks' time. My thoughts would be like you could do like a review of every single team in the NFL, like one a day. That might be one idea. Then you kind of into the draft season. Then you can do something along the lines of, well, NFL is silly, but the CFL is even more bonkers. I don't know if anybody's aware of that league, which is has a end zone which is the size of a pitch in itself, and there's only 3 downs. Canadian football is very amusing to watch during the summer.
I am impressed that Rob had his ear to the ground about American football this weekend. I'm impressed, sir.
Well, it was just on, and I decided to open my MacBook Pro, and so I was installing stuff on that, and I just happened to have it in the background. And every game was amazing. It was pure theater, every single one.
All of them. Also, by the way, if you are all watching this live stream right now and you want to have a chance to have your channel audited, we have forms in the description that you need to fill out. Saying it in the chat is not going to get your channel audited. You need to go down to the description and fill out the form, and that way you can have a chance to have your channel audited live here on the stream.
Yeah, we'll be doing Jeff's favorite part of the live stream in about 20 minutes' time. One other thing I would also mention here as well is I'm seeing clips from NFL itself, as far as I'm aware, and the NFL is pretty hot on this stuff in terms of copyright. So, do you have a permission? If your channel does go a little viral, be aware that there may be a sledgehammer circling above your channel if you've not got the right permissions to use this content.
Sadly, the easiest way around that is to get on camera, which is a whole different channel for somebody who's just using B-roll. But if you are talking about it on camera, maybe with some NFL memorabilia in the background, like that's your best bet. And then maybe you can get away with using clips a little bit, like to prove a point or something. Fair use might protect you there, but it looks like your entire channel is stuff that you're pulling from broadcast, which is going to, the NFL loves to copyright claim that.
Yeah,
I'm so nervous. I don't want to play any of this.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't. You definitely shouldn't. And that's one thing too. And I agree with Dan. And one of the channels that I saw that was sort of circumventing this a bit, but they didn't want to get on camera. They set up one of those like VTuber type of characters.
Oh, okay.
He voiced over it. And so then the character would like gesticulate and do all that stuff. And it was kind of a smart play because they didn't have to be on camera. They did use their own voice. They could have gotten a narrator if they wanted to, but it seems to work very well. I think that channel was around 10K when we checked it. It was a baseball channel. And we checked it. We audited it like months ago. Right. But that was one way that we saw somebody kind of get around it to kind of put themselves into a fair use category where they're doing transformative content.
Okay, dokie. Let's get a move on. I think we've audited 3 channels here in 40 minutes. We're usually a little faster than that. We're going to look at Rinsey ASMR.
Nice.
Who picked this one?
I picked this one.
Okay, Dan, tell us why you picked an ASMR channel.
I've never picked an ASMR channel, and I don't. This Rinsey ASMR, you're going to be glad to know that I don't really know a lot about ASMR, so you're in good hands.
Is ASMR silly, Dan?
You know what? I thought it was at first, but it's really carved itself out on YouTube, and I think even though it's not for me, plenty of people watch it, millions of people watch it. So you're in a good space. The reason I picked this though is because I think that, well, for one, a lot of the advice we've already given can be applied to this channel even today. What I mean is titles and thumbnail wise, there's a lot of stuff here that, forgive the pun, just scratches the surface. Just there's a lot of scratching videos.
Nice.
I think, yeah, exactly. I think you need, like, you're almost there. I think what you need to do is be a little more specific about the type of ASMR in some of your videos, because some of them are just, they don't really give me enough in terms of what it is I'm going to be listening to. So if you were like, one of the searches I did was just I think ASMR sleep, and you'll kind of see what I mean. If Rob, you want to?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I think it was ASMR sleep. Now, there's going to be some huge videos here, but you'll notice first and foremost that the thumbnails are much more zoomed in, a lot simpler. And even though they're not saying in a lot of the titles what it is they're going to be rubbing all over their microphones or whatever they're doing, it's in the thumbnail. Like, the thumbnail gives you the other half of that story, right? So a lot of them are using different, like, one of them had like slime on their microphone. Yeah, like, let's see. For those who want to sleep soundly. Yeah.
Nice.
So there's the slime one. Yeah.
Jeez.
Okay.
And then Alpha Gaming, all right.
Alpha, just here you go.
Okay, we're going a bit left field now.
Oh God, the recommendation engine.
So I think you're relying on text too much and not enough imagery.
Yeah.
That's really what this comes down to. I think better thumbnails would really help you out. Putting yourself in the thumbnail is great. But like these latest ones, like especially the ASMR trigger words, it's just kind of you and then some text that's kind of hard to read on a black background. And I think there's other ways to kind of like visually get people to understand what this is without even having to read the title. So that was mostly my advice. I can let someone else talk now, but it was titles and thumbnails all the way. The dedication to the consistency, though, is fantastic. The different things they're willing to try, and they're getting hundreds and hundreds of views. Some cases they've broken over 1,000, as you could see. And yeah, for starting, it looks like 3 months ago, this is a very strong start.
Yeah,
like, I mean,
and there's niches within niches on ASMR. So I've spoken to a few channels that do this stuff to some of our customers, and there are niches and sub niches to this. So that might be something where you differentiate yourself, is going to be by choosing a lane or choosing a couple of specific lanes, as opposed to doing ASMR of every type.
Yeah.
And if you're doing every type right now to try to figure out what those lanes are, more power to you. Start figuring out exactly kind of what works better, what doesn't work, and iterate upon that success. But one of the things I've noticed is when they do niche it into a specific genre, or like a sub niche of ASMR, they'll see a lot of success. So whether it's like food ASMR or slime or sleep or nails or whatever it is, people will really go into a very specific one, because what you're doing there is you're not targeting the ASMR audience as a whole, because people who like ASMR don't like all kinds of ASMR. Exactly. They want a specific type, and you got to become that person, that go-to person for that type. And then you'll find that bigger audience. So just keep that in mind. And like I said, if you're kind of trying to figure that out by trying different things, more power to you. But at a certain point, I would definitely suggest starting to narrow the focus beyond just ASMR, because there's way more sub niche to it than this.
Yeah, we're seeing gaming, we're seeing trigger, nature walks, even like a Spider-Man time, which is interesting, given it trying to follow a trending topic. But you think, Jeff, ultimately, this channel is going to pick one of these lanes. Yeah. Although saying that, would I be right in saying that this is a mostly female dominated video topic, which allows a male creator to have be a bit more expansive? Or am I being too flippant there, too generic?
No,
because when I did the search, it was mostly female creators. I just saw one other male creator in the space being really successful.
I've seen quite a bit of both. Right. But it could be, I'm not sure. We would have to really break down the demographics on it. Sure. But I've seen both, and I've spoken to creators on both sides. And then that's not just even here, just on YouTube. There's a lot of them on Twitch as well. But it could be that there's more opportunity in that sense, where you're more of there's less guys doing this. So, but I've seen both. So,
my final thought here is channel approaching 1,000 subscribers, very, very consistent view counts. And I think what this has been driven by is your consistency. It feels as if something along the lines of ASMR is what a viewer would like to get a daily experience from and listening to something new every single day. And this channel's almost there. They're doing like, I would say 3 to 4 videos a week, which is a pretty good sweet spot. So again, the consistency is there. And I think that's what's really building up an audience for the channel, which is great to see. Right, let's move on to our Twitter contest this week. We asked you to submit a GIF of myself, and the most comical one will be the one that got a channel audit. And it's when you forget to upload your thumbnail before publishing, and you'll slap yourself with a subscribe button. I want to give credit to this person because I think this is one of the GIFs that I didn't personally upload. Like I did tons about a year ago. But people are actually grabbing clips from videos and then uploading them themselves, or they're finding ones that Dan, our social media manager, uploaded. So well done to you. I'm tired of seeing myself do that now.
the Viper gifts are pretty good too, though.
Yeah,
I don't have any, but the Viper gifts are pretty good.
The channel we're looking at following that Twitter submission was Tanookialex. And I'm just going to sit back and fold my arms and ask you lot to try and audit the channel because I have no idea what it's about.
Roblox. The banner kind of told me that, which was cool. I like that. I like that banner a lot. But I'm not sure. Are they focusing on the same game within Roblox, or
Roblox news?
Are they topic jumping? Let's see. Roblox CEO has been exposed. I think I know what they're referring to. The truth about my username. Let's see. So, and I saw a video about Carl Jacobs. So I think you're right. I think they're doing Roblox news.
I think so. That's what this looks like. Interesting
approach.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a ton of Roblox channels. So one way to stand out is I don't think there's going to be that many channels doing Roblox news. So interesting. And that can open you up to quicker content for daily or multi uploads per week. But one thing you also have to remember is that sometimes those can also have shorter lifespans. So less evergreen, but more 24-hour news cycle type of stuff. Doesn't mean you can't do evergreen. You can do a breakdown of like the history of Roblox or whatever. But yeah, this is definitely an interesting approach. I don't think we've seen a Roblox news channel. Am I right? I don't think we've seen one.
I was just highlighting, is it news or is it like a drama news?
Well,
like,
it says news after that.
I know, but as we were looking at the stories, it was about what a creator, someone being exposed, Roblox being down again. These aren't necessarily helpful news stories about Roblox. They're just like the spilt tea that's going on within the universe. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. That's how they're identifying it. But
more T channel than news channel.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that because T channels are doing wonderfully on YouTube. So
especially, I mean, these last 2 videos have really nailed it on the head with the view counts.
Yeah, I would caution you just to be careful because a lot of channels like this that have been out there on YouTube, not necessarily in Roblox, just in the drama spaces, have gotten themselves into some real world trouble. So just be sure that you're being as safe as you can be in such a niche. This, there might be sub niches to explore in here too. Maybe it could be that you talk about Roblox as a company, which there's a lot of material there, or you talk about the people who make the games, the developers, or you're talking about other YouTubers. But I think you could probably focus an entire channel on one of those avenues. And I think people who are here for that kind of drama will enjoy seeing consistency in that respect, because maybe the ones who are there for news about creators like YouTubers and stuff aren't necessarily interested in what's going on with the developers, but maybe to you it's equally as juicy. You might need to niche down a bit, or at least start there and then branch out later.
Certainly an evolution in the, as you said earlier, Jeff, packaging. I mean, you look at these thumbnails that had a bit more consistency about them, but also I've forgotten what the term is, the VR.
Like the VTuber?
Yeah. Why is
Mhm.
my previews not working anymore? There you go. So you can see.
Oh yeah, that's a
You know-
total VTuber. Yeah, interesting.
But I don't think they're doing that anymore. When I look at the mouse over here, they've abandoned the VTuber aspect, and it's
They
more
might just voice over, maybe.
straight voiceover. Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, whatever works for them. You know, if that's how they want to roll. Some people, I know some people can be put off by the VTuber thing. I don't mind it.
It's
to
an
be
instant
honest,
switch,
but-
isn't it? They'll see it's like robot voices in YouTube videos or the
Right.
VTuber. For some people, they'll just immediately switch off
Yeah.
to it, or it makes a viewer stay for longer. You're really
Right.
pitching your tent in the ground as to what type of content you're
Right. I
you're
ran into
showing
a
to the audience.
documentary channel that uses an avatar, and it's basically like it's like a cartoon, and they're doing a voiceover. It's the actual person, the actual creator. It's their voice, and then they have this cartoon, but it's just still images. So it'll be like this, and then like this, and then like this, and like that. So every couple seconds it's changing, but it's dynamic enough to where it keeps you interested. When I first saw it, I was like, this is such an interesting approach. And the channel has a few million subscribers, so they're doing quite well, and they're doing documentary type of content, like the truth about this or that, whatever it might be. But yeah, you're right. I think it can be a trigger for some people, and if you want to avoid that loss, it makes sense to pull that trigger out of your video and just go to straight voiceover, assuming you're not doing robo voice.
Yeah. The thing we just saw in their community tab was that they're running out of ideas.
Well, I just want to say, who else feels like this right now?
Yeah.
I had a serious bout of this end of last week. I was really struggling, and now I'm making the longest video you're probably going to see on the channel this year. Yeah, sometimes the grind is real.
Yeah. So I would encourage you, if you're feeling this way, if anyone's feeling this way, maybe take a break. One thing you can do is sit down and instead of uploading that week, like sit down and like come up with some ideas or a new direction for your channel. Like, you know, do some exercises to try and like get your spark back, you know, whatever that might be. But yeah, when you get to that point on YouTube and you're just posting to post, it can wear on you even more, even faster.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to take a little bit of time for yourself.
I wonder if this video might have been a triggering one that, you know, it's 3 days out and it's for them probably underperformed a little bit.
It's 11 seconds though.
What do I do next? So I guess so maybe it is a short. That might be a reason. Let's
It's
move on
only-
to the next. Sorry, go
Sorry,
ahead.
I was gonna say it's
Go
only
ahead.
down for so long. I mean, there's not much you
Yeah.
can say from that.
Yeah, very short shelf life in terms of a video. With that one. Let's move on to the next channel, and it is a passion for detailing. And Mr. Viper, let's start with you on this one. What are your first impressions here?
All right, can we scroll down a little bit so I can see some of the other videos on the channel? Okay. I will say first off that I do appreciate, and I've learned to appreciate people who put pictures of themselves and at their actual channel avatars. It just creates a more human connection to potential viewers. So good luck on that one. As far as the titles and thumbnails, okay, your detailing. I think I got detail factor rating, brushes review. Okay. Unconvertible soft tip cleaning made easy. Okay. What detailing gives? New turn rack detail. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
You know what the brief barrier to entry for me was this channel is I had no clue what detailing meant. And after I looked at some of the thumbnails, I thought, okay, this is car detailing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that should be added perhaps to the channel name, or perhaps I know I'm in the wrong place anyway for this, so perhaps I'm the wrong viewer to be appealing to.
So I think I like some of the titles. I mean, you're talking about detailing, but you're talking about detailing specific cars or specific aspects of how you're going to detail that particular car. So I like the intention of your titles. I like that. The thumbnails are okay for the most part.
I think the newer ones are a little better.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I like the one with the less text, obviously, but they're okay. Let's see. Oh man, what we got?
Can I ask the creator something? Rhetorically, of course.
Sure.
Wait. Look directly into the camera.
Well, I
Dana.
need the
Point.
videos up. Do I need to own the car that you're detailing to enjoy the video?
Mm.
All right.
That's my question, because the car is like a big focus in the titles, and it kind of makes it feel like you're going after like search intent, but maybe instead it should just be about a portion of the car that you're detailing, or something particularly gross about the car that you cleaned up, or something like that. Maybe this is a satisfaction kind of channel, but it's hard to tell. And maybe it's like going from filthy car to clean car is really the draw. It doesn't necessarily matter. It's nice that every car is different, but it doesn't really matter title wise that it's an Audi S4.
Right.
If that makes sense.
I agree, and that's something where you can find here with these types of channels, because I'm a viewer of this type of content, and there's two or three different types of channels doing this sort of thing. There's the reviewer of the products and the teacher of how to do this stuff, and then there is the shock factor of this is the dirtiest car I've ever detailed, and they take it from dirty to clean and go through that process, which is very satisfying. So those are two, what would seem like the same channel, because they're both doing car wash related stuff. The viewer, the target audience is completely different, because one of them is targeting the people who are in the business or the hobbyists who like taking care and detailing their own cars. The other one is targeting general audiences on YouTube who like the satisfaction of watching a car go from really dirty to really clean. So I think one of the things that a passion for detailing has to sort of decide is which lane he wants to travel down. Do you want to become the channel that is how to and doing product reviews of detailing products, or do you want to become the channel that shows people the process of taking a car from dirty to clean with every video? And that's the difference there, because those are two different viewers, and you have to decide who you're going after and get after that person. So that's sort of what I'm seeing here, because like I said, I watch a lot of those types of channels. I'm into automotive content heavily. This is why I chose this particular channel for this review. But that's something where I think channel focus, because I don't have a huge problem with the thumbnails, much like Viper said. The thumbnails that are cleaner with less text work well for me. The titles are short and concise. What I don't like is the use of all caps in the titles. Don't do that. But that's one of the things where overall it's good. I think focus is the key here.
I think it's a similar conundrum to the first channel we looked at in terms of who is their audience.
Right.
What I notice here, I've sorted by most popular, and there may be a thumbnail decision to make here. The better performing videos seem to be when you detail a very particular part of the car, as opposed to you being on camera. Just generally speaking, it looks as if the hero of the channel doesn't necessarily work in these thumbnails. I did want to pick up on what you said there, Jeff, about not capitalizing your titles. Are you saying don't do that because of an optimization SEO perspective, or for another reason?
Well, mostly it's coming from advice that I've personally received from coaches that I've been part of their coaching programs. But there was also a thing that I could have swore came across YouTube where it was something like I could have swore it was something in there where it was saying for us to not do that as creators. I don't know if it was like a community guideline thing or what it was, but it was telling us to not use all caps in our titles. Now you can capitalize the first letter of each word, knock yourself out, or capitalize an entire word if you want to highlight something. You know what I mean? Like if it's like my favorite ceramic shampoo, favorite should be all caps, but the rest of it doesn't have to be all caps. Like how to deep clean, beautiful, because you highlighted deep clean. So, but all caps all the way across, that ain't it, Chief.
So this comes down to like Jeff said, I could have sworn sometime maybe a couple of years ago we heard from where all captioning your titles are bad, but this comes down to a more societal taboo that people have about all captioning anything on the internet is construed as yelling at people. And your boy Viper knows a thing or two about yelling, but what you want to do, the reason why all caps is bad, because again, it's construed as yelling and it just comes across like in a negative connotation. So you don't want to all capture titles if you can help it. Like Jeff said, you can all cap certain word for emphasis in your title. That's definitely doable and okay. But all captioning the entire title number one, it looked kind of weird, and number two, again, it could be misconstrued as you yelling at potential viewers. And let me tell you, people don't like to be yelled at. I'm just saying.
Yep.
I think the point I would like to make is that as far as I'm aware, there is no SEO penalty or upgrade to capitalizing or not capitalizing your content. You are right that YouTube have said this, and I think they said it from, as Viper, you were saying, somewhat of a societal behavior point of view, in that just some viewers or potential viewers are going to get turned off by the fact that this title is shouting at me.
Yeah.
And so you have to decide whether or not your audience resonates to that. Like Dan and I, in our review of this gaming channel on Monday, all of their titles were non-capitalized specifically, and it was more like almost like a childish way of talking to a viewer, maybe targeting a younger demographic, and it seems to work for that channel.
That's on trend right now, not capitalizing a single word. But again, like you said, I think that's because they're making a play for the younger generation. A lot of younger people right now, it's like a trend not to use capitalization at all.
Yeah. Wow, we got into a conversation there about punctuating your titles, which is fascinating stuff. The next fascinating channel we are going to look at here is Speed Streak. So, Dan, I'm going to give you 5 seconds and then tell me what you think this channel is about.
Super Smash Bros.
Damn!
Wow, that was in half a second.
Bro,
you went in a completely different direction. All right, is it actually true though?
Well, the last 3 videos are Super Smash
Oh,
Bros.
Dan, come on.
Oh, you put me under pressure.
Play the game, son.
I did. What? That's the game. If you're gonna make 3 videos in a row about Super Smash Brothers, but your channel isn't about Super Smash Brothers, then what are you doing?
All right, let me ask you another question. I'm trying to force you to think the way I'm thinking. Why does it have Speed Streak in the titles?
Where? Oh, wait. Wait a minute. Speed Streak. Okay, so are they about speed running? How do you speed run Super? I guess you can.
Finally, Dan is thinking the same way I think.
Dan is definitely thinking. I can smell the wood burning for sure.
So I think what I was trying to
Going through a lot of mental
point
hamsters right now.
is after 5 to 10 seconds of looking at the channel, I thought, like Dan finally thought, that this was a speed running channel because it had Speed Streak in the titles. But as far as I'm aware, they're not. These are just Let's Play Nintendo games. Or maybe not even Nintendo games.
I thought it was about deodorant, to be honest.
Dan. But as far as I'm aware, speedrunning has nothing to do with any of these videos. It's Let's Plays, long Let's Plays.
Yes, and it doesn't say streamed either. So they're doing hour-long Let's Plays with big episode numbers. The only thing I could really make out in the thumbnails is the episode number. You guys know how I feel about episode numbers, or you might, or now you're about to. Don't do that. Is how I feel. The reason is because it makes me feel like I need to watch 20 other videos before I can enjoy number 21. And with Super Smash Bros, I can tell you just from having played the game, that's not the case. Like I don't know how, unless you're doing some kind of role play storytelling thing. And even if you were, I don't know how I need to watch the last 20 episodes. Number 21 doesn't do anything. If you want to categorize your videos like that, you can use the description and or playlists, or when you do the intro. By the way, this is the 21th video that we've done in the series. So if you want to see episode 20, go back and watch that. So you don't need to do this in the thumbnails. I think it's like a really big turnoff for new viewers. Furthermore, Super Smash Bros, big Nintendo property. I would say a lot of audience crossover there. If you like Nintendo and you play Super Smash Bros, there's a chance you like Mario Kart and Splatoon and other competitive Nintendo games. If you want to play lots of games, that might be like a good space for you to explore. But going from Minecraft to Sonic to Super Smash Bros to I don't know what that game is there. Like there's too many. Your Spider-Man reaction. Like there's just too many things going on this channel.
Whiplash.
Yes, exactly. Audience whiplash, because you're going to start building an audience for the new Super Smash Bros. Stuff you're doing, and then you're going to throw something else at them a few weeks later, and they're not going to watch because they subscribe to you for Super Smash Bros. And you're already like 12 games ahead of them. So they're not clicking, and you're just constantly trying to rebuild your audience. And if you were to go to any big YouTuber who you've seen play multiple games, you'll notice patterns, whether or not at the start of their journey they focused on one game, or today they focus on a certain type of game. There's always a strategy to that, and a lot of people try and start this way, where they just play whatever they want, and they do a run of it for several episodes, and then eventually pivot games when they're bored. And it just, I've never ever seen that work, not one time.
I was trying to count how many simultaneous Let's Plays they've got on the go at the moment, and I'm counting 4 different games in the last 10 videos.
Yeah, this speaks to someone with a tremendous amount of passion for creating content.
Absolutely. A video every single day.
Yep. And that is fantastic. And I want you to channel that energy into one video game, eventually branch out to one type of game, like I said, but one game, and go all in. First, come up with like 10 video ideas. Don't record a single thing. Write down 10 ideas for one game, you know, and not Super Smash Bros. Episode 2. What about Super Smash Bros. Are you going to do? Like, are you going to put some kind of twist on it, some kind of challenge, something interesting? You know, are you going to put the computer characters at the highest difficulty level and it's 3v1? Like, throw some like curveballs in there, like really like make really interesting concepts in terms of like the titles and the thumbnails, because once you figure out those 10 ideas, the title and the thumbnail will come to you easy. You won't even have to think about it. It'll be like, if I want to tell the story to the viewer who's potentially going to click on my content, because of this challenge I've set up for myself, that's easy. That's done, you know? So that is definitely one way I would be encouraging this creator to consider going.
I just went through some of my most popular videos, and I know they've been making videos for at least 4 years, probably longer. And we're at a point now where the videos you're making over the last couple of weeks are getting sometimes dozens of views or less. And we would hope and desperately want you to be in another place in your YouTube journey if you've been making content for that long. So it's clear that what you're doing right now isn't working, and you need to go back to the experimental phase on your channel with all of the ideas that Dan's just thrown at you.
I know a creator who does this, what with indie games. They do the same exact thing, but what they do, it's even worse, because they take one picture ever and that's their thumbnail, and they just slap a number on it, and eventually do 20, 30, 40, 50 episodes of it, and they finish the game and they move on to the next game. Every one of their videos gets 3 to 4 views. And I've asked them about this, and their answer kind of blew me away. They were like, I don't care. I'm enjoying myself. Like, I just like doing this. And if that was the case for this creator, which I'm pretty sure it's not, they wouldn't be here asking us, what am I doing wrong?
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's why I'm so like, I'm taking everything I would tell that person and throwing it at you right now, because you came here. They didn't ask me for my advice. And I just like, why do you do that? And they're like, because I don't want to work that hard. I'm just enjoying myself. And I like giving commentary while I play games. I'm not against any rules at all. That's fantastic. But they didn't ask me for my advice.
Right.
You did. So I do hope any of that was helpful.
The assumption is any channel that submits wants to build an audience beyond friends and family. They want to find people who are passionate about the topic that they're making content about and have them watch it and make a difference to their lives. And with the amount of videos that you're making, you probably don't feel as if you're achieving that right now.
Yeah.
So that is Speed Streak. We will move on to the next channel. I think this is the last one before we take a break. It is Simple Smoothies. They have just cracked 500 subscribers. They are, let me read this, vegan dessert smoothie bowls. I thought I said howls for a second. And more. And they produce content on a very regular basis. I'm seeing mostly shorts here, if not all shorts. Now a couple of non-shorts. What do we think here, chaps? I think it's definitely a shorts channel, which means that it's going to be a struggle to create really striking thumbnails. So it almost feels as if I think definitely the lighting production value needs to increase in the video content itself to prevent, unfortunately, the default thumbnails looking like this, which are very dark and difficult to see. Whereas that one looks a little bit better.
A window is your friend, a light. I mean, lights aren't even that expensive. I mean, yes, lights can be very expensive, but they don't have to be, because you can get lighting on Amazon for less than $50. I mean, one light would do you such a huge favor in some of these. So I mean, it's a huge thing.
So let me go ahead, Jeff.
No, go ahead.
Let's go a little bit deeper into the whole lighting situation. So my man Marquez Brownlee did a blind smartphone camera test late last year. And what he found during his test is that a lot of the phones or a lot of the pictures that were picked were simply picked because one was brighter than the other.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I say this to say that when you are creating your thumbnails, you want to make them pop. And a good way to make them pop is for them to be bright. I'm not even saying you got to do any special, fancy, super schmooper thing with your thumbnail. Just make them bright. Make them visible. Because if they're dull like these, they're going to just get washed over when people are scrolling through YouTube. So you want to make your thumbnail pop.
Yep, I agree. Even if because a lot of this obviously is just screen grabs. And even the ones that are thumbnails, like where they've actually designed some, are also screen grabs. So that lets you know that if your screen grabs are bad, it's because you have poor lighting. So it can go a long way, even if you just do this stuff in front of a window where you have natural light, or if you buy an actual light to help you. Even if you just grab a lamp, you'll have better lighting than what you have now. Yep. So that's going to be a big thing that's going to take you another step forward. But yeah, with shorts, I don't see an issue with doing this sort of stuff. We've seen more than a few channels that do food shorts that actually have mixed content on their channels as well, where they're doing a short, like tasting the food, but then saying, hey, if you want to see the full recipe, then on their channel, they have a full how to make this particular thing, on their, so they have like tie-in videos, basically full length and a short.
Do you think they should be, if they're going after a particular audience with a particular diet, that being vegan, that they should be trying to push that in all of their titles, even if they're shorts? Or again, do you think hopefully a default thumbnail may better illustrate that?
I think they should go after, first of all, if that's who they want to target, that messaging should be clear in all of their videos. Titling wise, probably a good move to do that. Because I know there's going to be people looking for that sort of stuff. Like me, I'm on a low sodium diet. So I'm on YouTube looking up low sodium recipes, right? That makes sense. So if I was vegan, I'd be looking on YouTube for vegan recipes. And hopefully because they have vegan in their metadata, that their video should appear, theoretically speaking.
Oh, wow. Is that a 23-second intro on a 2-minute video?
Oh, God. No. That's 25% of your video, man.
Ooh, no.
I was just trying to check. As usual, my internet is failing me. I heard robot voices on some of these shorts, and I was just wondering if they were in the long form content as well. But unfortunately, I can't give you an answer to that.
That hamster is just not doing it today.
It is not spinning the wheel fast enough. Not fast enough. Yeah, I wonder if that's that. So is that their intro, a 16-second intro that they're plugging into all of their long form content?
I think so. Yeah. And listen, man, intros, just don't do them. Rob made an entire video on what happens with a 2-second intro.
Yeah.
And you have a 16-second one. Like, come on, son. So that's one of the things where if anybody in the chat right now, if you're thinking about making some sort of an intro, a branded intro, if you're about to pay somebody to do it, listen to Hefe. Don't do it. Just get straight into the content.
I did not write that. Who wrote this?
Not me.
I did not write that. All right, that is simple smoothies. And when we come back, we are going to do some simple random channel auditing as I try and find the right button to press. I'm now filling. Which button do I press? I can't find it. There we go.
Introducing daily ideas from VidIQ. AI designed for those that have to create. Inspired by the creators that start working when others stop. Because their inspiration doesn't care for 9 to 5. Creators that push their ideas 1 step, even 3 steps beyond the obvious, and won't ever settle for anything less. Discover AI-generated ideas made for your channel only, the creator whose brain works like nobody else's. Newly refreshed every single day, because we know how much it hurts to get caught sleeping on a trend. And there's nothing sweeter than waking up to a view count you didn't dare dream of. So we made View Prediction. See all your opportunities ranked by their potential to get you more views. When your creativity and our algorithm work together, surprising things happen. And this is just the start. The power of artificial intelligence is in your hands, and we can't wait to see what you create. Daily ideas from VidIQ. AI-powered inspiration, inspired by you.
Ooh, Dan with my finest work.
Yeah, still waiting for
Smooth.
Dan to start his YouTube growth education ASMR channel where he just says things like return viewers.
All right, Rob, I need 1 minute here. So before we go any further, I see some of y'all in the chat dunking on me. And that's cool. I'm cool with it. But if you don't listen to anything else I say on this live stream, listen to this. It is your job as creators to get people to want to click on your content. I've said it before, and I'll say it again on this live stream. Your title and your thumbnail is actually more important than the actual video that you create, because your title and your thumbnail is the first thing that a potential viewer sees when they choose whether or not to click on your video. So the tips that we give you guys in these live streams are to help you understand why your titles and your thumbnails are so important. So if you don't listen to anything else that I present in this live stream, make sure you take the time. I mean, a lot of time. Don't just gloss over it. Take time, serious time, to work on your titles and thumbnails, because if you don't, no one's going to click on your stuff. And then it doesn't matter how good your video is. If your title and thumbnail aren't popping, your video is going to sit there and on the shelf because nobody can watch it. So do with that information what you will. Go ahead, Rob.
I'm Rob Wilson, and I endorse that message.
100%.
Dan, I forgot to mention that Speed Streak was our Discord chosen channel. So just tell us a little bit about Discord in itself.
Well, SpeedStreak was chosen because obviously they're a super helpful member of our Discord community, full of YouTubers just like you who are hanging out, and they're on all different stages of this journey we call YouTubing. So if you would like to join them, if you're somebody who also has a YouTube channel and you feel maybe a little bit alone, our Discord is totally free. All you need is a Discord account. I saw an interesting question. I think it was yesterday. Someone asked if they need to use their VidIQ email to sign up. You absolutely don't if you don't have a Discord account. You can join any Discord you want with your Discord account, including our own. So make a Discord account, and when you're looking for different servers, let ours be one of the ones you join. And it's not a place where people are just dumping links to their content. We take all those out. It's more of a place about advice and sharing tips and just overall general YouTube discussion.
Lovely stuff. And of course, Daily Ideas, which you saw a quick advert for, is part of the VidIQ tools, which you can start using for free if you're a new customer, with the link in the video description. And it gives you up to 50 daily ideas every single day. That's 1,000 potential ideas for your YouTube channel. So do make sure to check it out if you haven't already done so. But in the meantime, let's do a little bit of this. Okay, we have a phenomenal amount of submissions already. Like 381 non-gaming channels have submitted, 339 gaming channels have submitted. That is Jeff welcoming the claw as always. This is his favorite part of the live stream, and this is why. Take it away, Jeff.
The claw.
All right, so we take this number and we put that number in our form, and we take this channel, and these are completely first impressions. We don't know what we're going to see here, and it is CBJ, and they have approaching 650 subscribers. And just on first impressions, I'm getting maybe a skit, comedy, entertainment, variety channel. And I think because of that, what you're probably going to have to experience here a little bit is spiky view counts. But I think the biggest challenge you probably have right now is consistency, because you have videos that are 4 months ago, 7 months ago, 2 videos 3 weeks ago, and then nothing in between. what's going on here in terms of the creator's output?
Yeah. CBJ, you got to understand the assignment, and the assignment is consistency. So showing up, it makes a huge difference. Even if you can't do it weekly, that's cool. You know what I mean? But as long as you can get something out in a consistent fashion, if it's once a month, if that's what works for you, cool. If it's twice a month, cool. If it's 4 times a month, cool. Whatever works for you, but you just got to start showing up. That's really what it comes down to. Because if you want to build an audience, you got to make sure that you show up for them. If you want them to subscribe to you, right? You want to build up an audience. That's why you're here talking to us. Then you got to show up for them to come back for you. You can't just drop a video here, expect them to come in and then not drop another video for 6 weeks. Like, that's not how this works. So consistency is going to be a big, big thing.
Wait, Rob, am I detecting some type of pivot of some sort?
Looked like there was some Fortnite stuff going on last year. Perhaps it was content that was easier to create, so there was more consistency there. But yeah, it certainly looks as if they've got in front of a camera now, and they're just experimenting with the type of things that they're interested in. So yeah, I think you spotted it right there, Viper.
Interesting.
Look, oh, sorry.
I'll go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. I was just noticing that when they talk about a very specific topic, when they tell a story, those videos do really well. But the first 2 videos of the year are very vague. Like, we don't like, it was your first video of the year, and then the other one is your new intro. So they're very much about the creator, about you, but they're not a story. There's no hook there for like a wider audience. But when you do stuff like that, you tell about the story about the time you almost went to jail and things like that. People are genuinely interested. And while it's fun to celebrate things like new intros and first videos and things like that, you save that for like part of the content. You tell a story and you say, by the way, this is my first video of 2022. Thanks for being a subscriber. Thanks for joining me. And you then go into the story you want to tell.
Yeah. As much as I would love to, Dan, upload your segues like the claw as a individual YouTube video, it's probably not the right decision for the channel, is it? We save it for these live streams.
Yeah, no, I'm in complete agreement. Don't feel the pressure like I gotta get a video out and then just put out something. This video, first video 2022, or here's my intro. Nobody cares, man. That's really what it comes down to. If you have an intro on your channel, keep it as unlisted if you're going to have it there. And then if you want to show it to somebody, cool. But I mean, what does that do for the viewer? That's one of the things I want to make sure that we all understand. What is this piece of content giving to my viewer? What value does your viewer find in this? And if you can't answer that question honestly, it doesn't need to be on your channel.
There's a good row of videos here where I think they were concentrating on telling stories about themselves and the people that they meet, and all of the view counts here are pretty consistent. And then there's this community video, which kind of doesn't, again, something about the community is always going to get less views, or like Q&As. And then they haven't really sort of recovered it somewhat after that a little bit. And then they got some views again, like almost going to jail as well. So it's just maybe trimming off some of the fat here in terms of videos that aren't necessarily what the viewers want to see next.
Hey, Rob, let me address something. Sorry, Viper. Let me address something real quick, because somebody left a comment from How to Play the Drums by Tim Rowe that says, don't feel like you have to post a video versus consistency is everything. Yes. Here's the thing, though. Consistently making videos that make sense to a viewer, right? That's what it comes down to. Don't just put up anything just to say, yeah, I got a video out this week. Okay, you put out a dud. Okay, cool. Like, how does that help your channel? How does that serve your viewer? Consistently deliver value. Maybe I should have been a little more clear, but consistently deliver value to your viewers. That's what it comes down to.
This is the exact reason I really don't like it when people put their upload schedule in their channel banners, because it's so easy to miss one of those days. And because you put it there so prominently, because you told yourself and everybody else, like, I'm going to upload every Monday, come hell or high water, you then don't, because something happens and now you're like guilty. Now you just have that carrying with you. Like, I didn't upload this week. I'm such a scumbag. My viewers were depending on it. Like, whatever it is that goes through your mind. Like, I used to do that. So I found myself uploading for the sake of uploading, which is why we get videos like Q&A. Like, I have no ideas, so just Q&A. And what I was going to say before about Q&As is the way to do that the right way is do your Q&A, but when you post it on YouTube. So let's say you ask your community tab, like, give me questions and I'm going to answer them in a video. take the most interesting question you got.
Yeah,
Make the video about that.
This could almost be a Q&A. Like,
Yep.
you know, one of the stories in your Q&A could be, I almost went to jail.
Yep.
Yep.
And then you can even do the intro where it's like you kind of teasing that story, and then that goes away. Coming up soon, you know, you're teasing the story that goes away, and you're like, okay, so I asked my community tab to ask me some questions, and here's the first one. So you just get into it, you know, and people understand they're along for not just one story but several.
All right, so that is CBJ. We'll pick a not that yet. We'll pick a gaming channel this time. Chef, take it away.
The Claw.
All right, it's channel 141, and we are looking at Vision Gaming. They tell us that they have 0 subscribers. All right,
And they're a Let's Play channel.
this is interesting. All right then, so
Oh, they have 1. They lied
have
to us.
2. Hang on, why is that? Let me just.
What?
That's weird. So why on the home screen do they have 1 video, and then on there they have? I mean, one of them is a short. I guess shorts don't appear in this.
Oh, in the home
anyway.
screen? Well, they'd have to put a little shelf in there, I think.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
All right then. So this is a bit of a tricky one since there isn't that much on the channel. I mean, what we can probably work out here is that Vision Gaming is going to be a car video game channel, probably focusing on a particular game. I'm not sure what game that is.
Car parking multiplayer, I think, in the hashtag there.
Maybe. So if we were to give some advice to this channel, which they've got 300 views on a video and it's their second video, that's already an achievement. What type of things would we be advising?
Well, hashtags in your shorts that are anything other than shorts are kind of wasted real estate. You can put those in your description. I've seen this trend a lot, and I think it maybe comes from TikTok, and maybe that's why I'm seeing it more and more and more. But people on their shorts are putting a very small title and leaving a lot of room for these really long hashtags. Yeah. YouTube is different. It doesn't really, hashtags couldn't be less relevant on this platform versus TikTok. So put your hashtags if you feel like you need them in your description. 3 of them will show up and become clickable. So I would just focus on 3. See how 3 of them are clickable from the title.
Yeah.
If you put them in your description, underneath your title will be the tiny little hashtags, and those are clickable, and people can find things that way. They don't search through hashtags. I hate to break it to you. Anyway, that aside, if you get rid of the hashtags, now you have a much shorter title, and people look at this and say, they see BMW M8 tuned to drift. Very simple title, and a lot more easy to digest. My eyes aren't darting around trying to figure out what all these hashtags say. So I think that matters a lot. I think you're going to confuse viewers by stuffing your title full of hashtags that aren't really helping you.
That is definitely solid advice. The other thing is that in reality, you need to post more videos. I mean, the thing about YouTube and how to build a YouTube channel is that we need data. I just started a new channel myself this year, and I'm 14 videos in, but I still probably need more data. So you need to post more videos, get more data so you can figure out what's resonating with your audience, what's not resonating, and then you can figure out what direction to take your channel. But you definitely need to start uploading more videos. Whatever your upload frequency that works for you, go ahead and make that happen and just get more videos out there so you can get that data.
Viper, what would you say is a healthy number of videos over what time period?
See, that's hard, Rob, because it depends on everybody's life situation. A lot of people have like maybe a full-time job, or they have a family or school, so it's hard. I would probably say that if you can do it, especially if you're going to do shorts, if you're going to do shorts, 3 times a week should be no problem for anybody doing shorts. That's just it. That would be my probably, if you had to ask me a specific number, I would say if you upload 3 times a week, if you're just starting out, that's a good number to be at if you can. Not saying that that's the optimum be all, but that's just, if you ask me, Viper, how many videos should I upload a week just starting out? If you can do 3, I would say do 3.
When it comes to shorts, a lot of people recommend at least 1 a day, if not multiple a day.
Yep.
So it's good that you're trying both of these. And what I like is their first video was 8-9 minutes long, and for all we know, the short is a clip from that video. So that's a good strategy. Make these longer videos and then take the most interesting bits of them and turn them into shorts, and, you know, just really start tackling, create like a little content ecosystem for yourself. Really start tackling like the shorts shelf as much as you can in between your longer form video uploads. These videos are very similar, so I would suggest keeping them on the same channel because the shorts viewers might want to watch the long form content you make since it is so similar. The first video also noob plays car park multiplayer. Okay, but the text in the thumbnail is way more interesting. It's about making money. I would have flipped those, you know. So what you do with the text, which you have a little too much of, I would have said total noob, and I would have had an arrow pointing at the car for no reason. And then the title could have been making money as a noob, you know, in name of game.
Yeah, just doing a bit of research here. So that's what I would suggest to the creator is do research on what thumbnails work. And it looks to be money in the thumbnails surrounding this game.
Arrows for no reason.
And less text than what's current there. Where was the arrow for no reason, Dan? Oh, yeah.
Arrow for Dan. Arrow for Dan.
Yeah. No, little, 5 minutes of thumbnail research for everyone in the chat. 5 minutes of thumbnail research before you make your thumbnail can go such a long way.
Before you make your video.
Yeah, 100%. So it's a huge thing because not every thumbnail style works for every genre. So you have to look at what people are doing in your genre to get clicks, and that'll give you an idea of what kind of thumbnail to make.
It is unnerving how many of these just have random arrows done in them.
I told you.
Surrounding this one, yeah.
Yep. Arrows, man.
Well, just put them. It doesn't even matter what they're pointing at.
Just like
arrows for the win.
Yep.
Viper, arrow pointing at his head, just pointing at the phone.
Yeah. For why? Why would you do that? Just do it.
I'm going to put arrows pointing at earbuds.
Less text, more arrows.
Right. While we're talking about arrows, if you could point the arrow on your screen, which is your mouse cursor, to subscribe. There is a very particular reason why I'm asking you to do that, because from now on, you will only be able to comment on this live stream if you are subscribed. But I cannot find the tool. Where's it gone?
Settings.
Which one is it in?
Customization.
We have 500 people watching this live stream. I don't think we ever had that many people on the live stream.
There we go. Oh, but Viper, if you go back to 1974, we used to get 22,000 concurrent viewers on. No, I'm just.
That's right.
It was a good year.
YouTube 74 was good, man.
YouTube 74. Back in the day when you could get monetized with 10,000 views. Oh,
yeah,
that was a dream. Right. Anyway, you're going to have to subscribe now if you want to post a comment. There is a reason why this is going to happen, which you'll find out in about 5 minutes after we audit our next channel, which bring us in, Jeff.
The Claw.
And this will be a
Clawbert
non-gaming channel.
Clawbert. It's clobbering time.
Yes.
We've gone off the rails. Viral Chalk. That's an interesting channel there. I kind of like that. All right, so this channel has hidden their subscriber count, but given the number of videos they've made and the view counts they've got, that is very impressive stuff. We talk about consistency or talking about volume of content. I feel as if this channel had been able to double their output. They could have, double, perhaps triple the view counts that they've currently got. I'm just going to throw it over to the three of you to talk about this for a little moment. I just need to break character.
Jeff, what am I looking at, man?
I'm going to go with Danky Mimi. That's what I'm going for. But no, that's what it kind of seems like. I mean, they're even doing a meme rewind. So initially, it seems like they were going to do chalk art, but then it's clickbait thumbnails of YouTube and then cartoons that made our childhood. So my guess is they're kind of going with this like sort of meme viral style, which, hey, man, more power to you because the views are coming in. Hopefully the engagement matches.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, hey, so far so good.
Take your name. I would test this, but take your name out of the titles.
Yeah.
For the same reason I said earlier about putting the hashtags in titles, it's just adding more to your title that doesn't need to be there. Like the name of your channel is the name of your channel, and putting it in all of your titles isn't helping. It doesn't do anything. And plus, we're also using all caps titles, which is what we talked about before. This might be the perfect content to test all lowercase titles. So don't be afraid to test these things out. When I say test, I mean, if you post your next video and it's in line with the rest of your videos and you really don't like the early results, ignore me, go back to what you were doing. But I think you should try taking your name out of these titles.
I have never understood why people do that. It's so strange.
I think it's a way of branding, but it's just, I would say it's ill-advised. The title is such important real estate, and I don't want to confuse anyone. Like, if no one knows who Viral Chalk is, they've never seen one of your videos, but it pops up, it makes it's like Meme Rewind 2021, which I get, but it says Viral Chalk, which is like, wait, so are these memes focused specifically on drawings made of chalk? Like, it makes you ask another question that doesn't need to be in your brain, and now you're thinking about the wrong thing. You should be thinking about clicking on the video, not, wait, what does Viral Chalk mean? And if you don't feel like that's for you, oh, this content isn't for me, you move on. You don't click on it.
Don't confuse the audience, man.
Yeah. The YouTube viewers who are scrolling around YouTube are just, they're reading and looking at everything very quickly, and their brain is making decisions like in microseconds. They don't realize what they're doing a lot of times, and I'm saying this from experience. I don't realize why I'm choosing which videos I choose sometimes, but the ones that always get the click for me are the ones that make me think the least.
Yep. It's an old marketing adage, but it goes, if you confuse, you lose.
Mm-hmm.
So thumbnail, title should work together and play off of each other, but should be extremely easy to understand. Basically, explain it to me like I'm 5.
Mm-hmm.
What do we think of sorry if you've already touched on this, the thumbnail quality seems to be fairly strong for a channel that's only 10 videos into their journey right now.
It feels like it's not their first channel.
Yeah, almost no text, no very little text.
The composition is good. I think the lighting on them could be a bit better.
Sure.
And I also think, because it's a meme channel, I don't meme a whole lot, but maybe I should recognize some of these. And I'm not, none of the images are resonating with me. Like, I'm not seeing them, like, any familiar faces or pictures or anything. And I don't know, like, are you not pulling memes that are as viral as they should be? Because the meme trends and then you talk about it, and that should be where you get your views from. But I just don't, and it could just be me, but I'm just not seeing anything familiar.
Could be
here.
localization.
Yeah, I think this might be a demographic.
It's true. It's
geographical
memes.
conundrum.
100%. No, that's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to a meme channel from South America, and their memes totally different.
Right.
So, but it's what works for them. So it could be memes that are to their localization, and we kind of just don't get it. Hashtag boomer. So
You call it all boomers.
I'm an internet boomer for sure.
Yeah.
I want to ask that. Sorry, I've completely lost the train of thought there, because now I want to ask a really personal question to all of you and say, when was the first time you used the internet? I'll go first. I'll be honest. I think the first time I used the internet, and not because I chose not to, but because it wasn't around until then. I think the first time I used the internet was when I was 17 or 18.
Wow.
Yeah, so that dates me a little bit.
I was probably like, I don't know, maybe 10 or so.
Yeah.
I remember my first time using the internet. It was very, very specific.
We don't want to know, Jeff. We don't want to know. Let's not.
No, it's actually kind of interesting because we had to actually travel somewhere to use it. And we were kids. We had to take a field trip. Mind you, I was in elementary school. We took a field trip to the Lawrence Livermore Labs because that was one of the first places that had internet in this region. Mm-hmm. So we had to go there to use their computer lab. And they had like 6 computers set up, and they were showing us like how to use Hotbot and like these different search engines and Netscape like they were showing us all these different, and we were just like kids, like blown away, like what this is crazy. And this was before your school had computers in it, you know what I mean? So we had to go somewhere to use computers to be introduced to this. So
was it uphill both ways?
What's that?
Was it uphill both ways to get to the?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
There we go. We may have Wayland saying they had a form of the internet in 1989. That's pretty incredible. Nice. We have gone completely off topic here. I do apologize. But that's the way I like these. Yeah. I was going to ask people this. Does anybody remember ICQ?
Yes.
One of the original messaging systems.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Nice one, Koi Fish Gaming. Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Poor hamsters back then.
They were buff hamsters back then. Yeah. We got lazy hamsters now.
Right. Where were we? What's the topic of this live stream?
The clock.
Yeah, I think we're moving on to the next channel here, I think.
Audits. Right. Okay. So hopefully you've had enough time to subscribe to the channel, because what we're going to do now is we're going to give away a channel audit. What hashtag should we
Ooh.
use for people to enter? I know.
Gerbil.
Oh,
Boomer.
gerbil. I was going to say journey, so let's go gerbil instead. Is that how you spell gerbil? I don't know.
It is today.
Hang on, no, we're going to spell it that way. Gerbil.
Gerbil.
Oh my god.
So, if anybody can figure out how to
Oh, that's funny.
That's
how
terrible.
to spell that, you put your entries in and
One time, please.
One time gerbils.
It doesn't
only.
work if you put it in multiple times. It just spams chat. Like it literally,
Absolutely.
like it's not designed to give you more. So if you keep putting in, it just doesn't work.
Yeah,
If
this
it
is
did, we would
something.
encourage you to. It just doesn't work. So
Yeah.
just one time, please.
Ooh, people are getting know what's going on pretty
Getting their
quickly
gerbil
here.
on and put their
Wow.
gerbil, man.
Well,
Gerbil.
Yeah, so
it didn't take long here, so well,
Getting
let's.
their gerbil on. Gerbil.
All right,
always think
we're
that they
above
can
100.
spam this.
We'll draw the first one.
Also, if you
Hang on,
enter-
Jeff, have you entered?
He did it. I did.
I saw your channel.
hey, Albytastic.
Albytastic there. He's going to.
Let's go, Albytastic.
All right.
Audit.
Remember, guys, spamming the hashtag does not work. It automatically filters out your extras. So all you gotta do is post it once.
Righty ho. How do you pronounce your Linux? Is it
Jorbil.
Linux or Linux? That's my first question. Right. So
It's Lynn Hux. The H is invisible.
thanks, Dan. Thanks, Dan. Go. We need to
It's
get back on.
Linux.
We need to get back on topic here.
Mm.
So I guess they're doing like conversations and how-tos on. You know what's really bugging me here? I know this is going to sound really weird, but you know that backdrop, the Windows 11 backdrop.
Yep.
The only time I ever see that as a thumbnail is when we have the inevitable how to get vidIQ for free.
Yeah.
All of those clickbaity illegal videos that appear, they all use this background.
Yeah.
And so it's triggering me. It's really triggering me right now.
Wow, SATA 2 ports. Good God. All right. Good God, sir. SATA 2. Are we going to start talking about serial ports now?
Come
love
on.
it.
Let's give some this person.
Okay.
This isn't a
Well, all right.
savage.
So
is
just to be clear here, but I'll let Viper get into it in just a sec. Very wordy on the thumbnails. Very wordy. But carry on, Viper.
Okay. So this is just a personal thing for me, but when I see thumbnails like this, I avoid them like to play because I just feel like the channel is like fake, or I'm gonna be greeted by some type of bot or something. It just I don't get authentic vibe from these type of thumbnails with a bunch of words and the yellow blocking. It doesn't look very authentic. So I would definitely figure out a way to rework your thumbnails to make them more authentic. Maybe if just by using a solid image with just maybe 3 or less words, or maybe putting your face on the thumbnail or something, just to make them have at least some type of emotional connection to a potential viewer, because these thumbnails here, not doing it.
Yeah, I would say, and then secondarily, remove by Albytastic.
Yes.
Remove the subscribe now in the corner. And then like you have Z800 SATA connectors. Cool. That's it. And then but the image is blurred out. So it's like, wait a minute, I can't see what I'm looking at here. So there's a bit of confusion. So I think there's some thumbnail work, Albytastic, that really has to go on. I think you really got to rethink your thumbnail strategy when it comes to this. But that's something, that's going to take a little bit of time. But what Rob's doing right now is he's looking at what type of thumbnails are getting clicked on to get you an idea of how your thumbnails could look. So, and some of the stuff isn't too difficult to do. I mean, if you're using
grow a
Canva,
spectacular beard.
Yeah.
That's what I recommend.
Oh, that's helpful too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got permanent baby face, so it's not going to happen.
I think this is one of these areas where I think creators really struggle to visualize something like Windows 10 virtual boxes and Linux. And so the maturity of the thumbnails in this space is pretty young or naive, where something like this really does stand out as a fantastic thumbnail. So if you put some more time into your thumbnail game, you could very quickly get ahead of the potential competition here. The one thing I'm going to caveat here, which is something that's kind of interesting, is that sometimes viewers get used to thumbnails, even if they do look like this. And
Agreed.
so sometimes a creator can change their thumbnails and all of a sudden they see a big decline in views because the regular viewers are simply not realizing that they're from Albytastic. So there may be a little bit of pain as you go through this thumbnail evolution.
Yeah. Even then, I mean, like, just for starters, I wouldn't change the yellow. I wouldn't change the black text, but I would just remove the logo with subscribe now and the by Albytastic. I would remove those two things because
Yeah.
Albytastic's already your channel name. It doesn't need to be in there. It's just wasted space. So that's where I would start. And then if you want to evolve them to where you start getting away from the yellow and black text, completely up to you. But it's just really about optimizing what you're doing right now and sort of experimenting and iterating on what works and what doesn't.
I know.
I'll go ahead, Rob.
I know I'm deviating a little bit from the topic of Linux, but there's this work methodology called Scrum Kanban or whatever, and it's not a very interesting topic, but people are going to search for it on YouTube and find out more about it. So I always look at this particular channel that takes quite a boring topic, but then adds a little bit of fun to it, or just makes the thumbnails unavoidable, like bright yellow backgrounds, sometimes very simple text or a very simple object. They're really striking. And I'm wondering how you can adopt that kind of, it is like clickbaity, but it makes it really stand out in that particular video topic. And, this is why this channel is doing relatively successfully in this space.
But they're also paying off the thumbnail.
Yeah.
So in Albytastic's doing the same thing. Like I said, it's just about optimizing what you're doing. So there's just a couple things that just kind of are irrelevant in the thumbnail. So that's something that I would probably avoid from it. But aside from that, I mean, I like where they're going. The views are actually more than decent
I'm
for a
encouraged
channel
by
of this
that.
size. Yeah, absolutely. So they're obviously delivering value. I think it's just about optimizing what they're doing.
Viper, did you have something to add?
Yeah, CTR, click-through rate. And click-through rate is largely dependent on title and thumbnail. So as Rob highlighted earlier in this live stream, if you take a few minutes to see what your competitors are doing as far as how their thumbnails are looking to get clicked, that will be time served well for you. If you type in any one of these titles, however, and go to the first page and see what the thumbnails look like, they're there for a reason. They're on page 1 for a reason, because people are clicking on them. That's how the whole search ranking thing works. The videos that get the most clicks usually are ones you find on page 1, and they're getting clicked probably because of their titles and their thumbnails. So you definitely want to do your research to figure out which thumbnails are being clicked on and see what you could take away from that and apply it to your own thumbnail strategy.
Facts.
Let's draw another one.
Again. Jorble. Moody Cloud.
Hey,
I see songs.
I see songs.
Now, if these aren't sea shanties, I'm going to be disappointed.
But wouldn't you hear songs rather than see them?
That's why it's a clever name.
Hey, I see music.
Okie dokie. Music channel, I believe, with what looks to be hour-long playlists. That's something we often recommend in this space, which is good to see. Maybe jumping from relaxing music to hip hop to rap. Very different music genres there.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to build up a returning viewership if you're always kind of switching up the different styles of music. Everyone's very particular about what they like, so you want to be a specialist in one genre.
Yep.
I remember when we had George on staff at VidIQ, he was recommending, certainly with music titling, that you should be front loading the style of genre, lo-fi, hip hop, dreamy, relaxing, and this channel is certainly doing that. So I think that's another positive.
Yeah,
they're definitely keyword stuffing these titles, which to me is like, yo, first of all, chill, and secondly, pick a genre, because sometimes it's like, okay, mainstream hip hop, K-pop, trap, pop. Like, wait a minute. Now, if it's a compilation that includes all of those, all right, cool. But I would really focus the title on the one that's the most popular, which, I would look at trends to see which one's which. I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be K-pop, but I would focus on that. And this way, it's not like you're trying to hit too many targets with one title. You want to keep it very focused. So, and just like Dan said, I would start looking at, if you're going to make a compilation or if you're going to make these videos or a channel in general, focus it. Because there's no reason why you can't have multiple channels for these different genres, but it should be focused. If it's going to be relaxation music, cool. If it's going to be meditation music, cool, different channel. If it's going to be hip hop compilations for an hour, cool, but focus.
And not only that, but we're keyword stuffing the titles, and you're not leaving room for like, what do you do with this music? Like, I see study music shoved into like 1 or 2 titles. Like, wouldn't you want it to be a little more simplistic, like chill music to study to?
Okay, yeah.
And a lot of channels have that same kind of titling structure.
Yep.
The channel is, I think, about a month old, so they've already published quite a lot of content, which is good to see. That they're probably experimenting, finding which musical genre may be their niche. I guess my question here would be, this is a pretty saturated space on YouTube. There are many well-established music channels. What is going to differentiate you from the rest of the channels that are out there? And I think one way is thumbnails. They are very text-rich right now, which is probably going to put people off.
Yeah. That third one, you
clicking.
can't even read it. So
yeah. I mean, relaxing music. I'm getting stressed out trying to read the words on the thumbnail. So just consider that in terms of, again, as Jeff likes to put it, your packaging of the content. So that is I See Songs. Early on in YouTube gerbil. So we'll see how you get along.
That's right.
Enjoy
the gerbil.
Enjoy the gerbil. It's so funny if we actually draw Jeff's channel, because we will audit it. Right. Darwin Plays next.
What up, Dar?
With 2 Z's. 2 Z's. Whatever you like to pronounce that letter of the alphabet. Okay.
Ooh.
Flight Simulator.
Flight Simulator?
Where's Travis? We need Travis for this one.
Love Flight Simulator. I can't play it for crap, but I love watching compilations.
Yeah, I think this one is going to be, in terms of giving some advice, pretty easy. Because I think the thing we're probably seeing out of the gate here are thumbnails. Thumbnails that are not fitting the genre of Flight Simulator. And if we were to do a search for Flight Simulator, you would see exactly what I mean. I think you have overcomplicated your thumbnails.
Unless they're intentionally going for like almost a comedy dank meme approach. But the titles don't necessarily support that style of content. They do look as if they're probably more serious ones. Okay, let's have a look at the top ones. Yeah, like, is this real life? Are most of these thumbnails?
Yeah, my favorite one for this content is a guy called Air Force Proud 95, and you probably eventually you'll come across him, but he does this type of content. There he is, Air Force Proud 95. Hilarious.
What's crying out loud? Look at what's going on there.
Absolutely hilarious. So and he'll do these things where he's like playing air traffic controller and he'll be controlling the traffic. I mean, if you guys watch this stuff, you'll be dying. Like, I spit out my drink on one of these videos. So yeah, but the thing about what I like about his channel, why I think people should pay attention, is look at the thumbnails.
Yeah.
So, and then people react to his videos.
Yeah, look at how simple these are, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a screen grab, but they get the point across because it'll be just a plane. Which one did you see?
That one.
Yeah.
Oh. See, and this is what I always talk about.
I want to click on that.
Take games and use them to do ridiculous things.
Yep,
like,
that's literally the formula.
The biggest channels out there in gaming are the ones that do stuff like this.
Yep.
You look at the thumbnail of these and you're like, yep, I'm in. Like, I'll probably go back and watch this channel because I love content.
If my internet was working, I'd watch that right now.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
reminds me of
dude.
Let's Game It Out. Like, and they make the same type of thumbnails. They just take these games and they find a one still image from it that just says everything it needs to say. And if you're going to do comedy videos, that's the way to do it. Maybe this person isn't though. And if you want to make helpful videos, this isn't the way to do it either though. Like the red text that no one can read, and it's really tiny, and these are kind of all over the place. So I think you need to do some research into the type of videos you're trying to make, see who else is out there, see what they're doing, and compare your thumbnails to theirs, and find ways you can improve. It's good that you are now focused on this game.
Yeah.
Like, stay focused on it. I would encourage you not to pivot again yet. And really, really hone in. Like, who are you making this content for? You know, are you trying to help people play the game, or trying to make people laugh, and then go down that rabbit hole?
Yeah, it's some funny stuff, man. There are some good channels for that genre. So
Wow, 300 entrants. That might be a record. That's pretty impressive work. I'm just wondering what the other 200 people who are watching this live stream are they refusing to subscribe?
Yeah,
or
on principle alone,
or they just want to watch. We've got no chance of finding this channel. I'm sorry. There's nothing necessarily wrong with the channel name.
That was the first thought I had too, Rob.
I will be astonished if we can find this channel.
We're not going to find this channel. Not at all.
Ooh, that's the problem. Sometimes the simple name, but if too many people have it,
yeah.
So that's like the reason why I didn't just go with El Jefe and I went with El Jefe Reviews. It's because there's too many freaking El Jefes on YouTube.
I have a small project I want to test on YouTube, and I had a channel name I liked, and I looked it up, and not a single person had thought of it. And I've never seen it. Usually someone's used it and made a couple videos. I'm like, oh my gosh, I did it. I found a channel that has a simple name that no one's ever used before.
So is it just
John's
Dan?
Hot Wheels, on the other hand.
It's just Dan. Yeah, it's impressive.
It should be called Just Dan.
Just Dan.
Okay, new creator. Welcome to the Gerbils. You have 2 videos live, and I guess you're going to be doing Hot Wheels content. It looks like to me, which is pretty good.
Is it a Hot Wheels video game, or is it actual Hot Wheel cars? Oh no, it's actual Hot Wheel cars.
Yeah, reviewing other products. It looks like here.
All right, Sean, man, I love it.
Let me make this easy for you. Let's take more Hot Wheels in the thumbnail.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
You know what's cool? Like, take your camera, go as close to those little cars as you can. Like, put them on cool little backdrops. You know, you could take some amazing pictures. Let's look at some of these. Ooh,
yeah.
Oh, that's a video game.
And I still do every thumbnail with my phone. So if you want to like close up on something small and how good it can look on the thumbnail, you can do that with your phone. So it's still
a strong start to the YouTube gerbil.
Oh look, there's I saw a Viper thumbnail there.
Viper's in the Hot Wheels scene as well.
That's right.
What?
Yeah, yours came up in the search.
Oh my god.
What about titles then? Hot Wheels, Ford Sierra, Cosworth, and Focus RS. I think an easier way to pitch that would be do like a versus comparison, which is better, just to start creating a little bit of intrigue in the thumbnail. Not necessarily saying you have your face in there, but like a simple car on one side, car on the other side versus, and split the thumbnail down the middle.
Could you look up like Hot Wheels race or something? Like, there's a channel I'm thinking of, and I was going to go off on a little tangent here, but there's like a channel that popped in my head, and I wonder if we can find their thumbnails. See, it might be that second one, or it's the first one. I don't know. So this is what I'm saying. Like, their thumbnails are so cool because they race these Hot Wheels cars, and they just take this one with the wood. Yeah. All the wooden shelves back there. I've seen this channel 100 times.
All right.
Yeah. So all they do is like set up these really cool different races with their Hot Wheels collection. And if this is the route you want to go, I would look at channels like this one. They're just killing it. And the thumbnails are pretty simple. And I would argue they're kind of zoomed out, in some cases kind of hard to see what's going on, but they work. You know, it looks very custom. It looks like, you know, you kind of feel like I could make this in my own garage, you know. I think that people relate to that. But maybe you're a collector. And that, I love that one.
Yeah, ever put some like
cotton for
buds in there.
Yeah. I like it.
So like, it really depends on what you're going for, though. I want to show you this one in case you race them, but I would also look up Hot Wheels collections and see what kind of thumbnails the collectors are using. They're two different kind of people.
Collections. That's the key word for distinguishing between reviews and video games. Whew, blind.
Oh, good God, sir.
That's going to be pretty difficult to replicate.
So you got to find your target audience. Are you trying to attract these folks who are out there trying to collect really rare Hot Wheels cars, or are you trying to take your collection and do different things with it, like race and things like that?
So this guy, Drifter D, seems a little more attainable in terms of. I mean, his thumbnails.
Look at that versus thumbnails.
Don't look great, but yeah, that one's really striking. The first one. But yeah, mate, he's got room for improvement on his thumbnails, but that's kind of like the next step on this creator's evolution. I mean, I've only done 2 videos, and we're going deep into the thumbnail game here.
Yeah, but the whole thing is this, though. The more, here's like for Sean, if he happens to be watching, this is stuff that I wish somebody would have told me when I first got started.
Yeah.
So 100%, figuring out what your title is before you turn on the camera. So basically, like if you're going to talk about 2 cars, like the Cosworth and the Escort, or whatever you wanted to do, think of that title first before you turn on the camera and say, okay, I want this to be a versus video. And that way you can go into it with that mindset. Okay, like here's for paint, I'm going to give that to the Escort. For build quality or the wheels, I'm going to give that to the Cosworth. Like however you want to do it, but that way you kind of have that mindset and you keep that structure in the video. So that's stuff that can kind of really help you out right from the beginning, because that's something that I wish somebody would have told me, you know, early on. And somebody told me that when I was around 1,000 subscribers, and I was like, okay, I took it to heart, and it definitely helps. I know Viper's reaping the benefits of forethought. You know what I mean? Coming in with a plan, coming in knowing your title, knowing what video you want to send people to, knowing what your thumbnail is going to look like having that stuff before you turn on the camera, it can really set the stage for how you appear and how you even speak on camera.
Clutch.
I would love to see the audience retention on this, I guess the 1 or 2 videos that are published, because I'm seeing a lot of classic things that creators do, but ultimately they can handicap the video. So you're talking about a Hot Wheels Porsche, but the first thing the viewer sees is the creator introducing themselves. Then I can see in the thumbnail, that looks to me like a branded intro right there. And then 32 seconds in, 27 seconds in before we see what was advertised as a hero in the thumbnail. So there needs to be almost like a flipping around of the hook.
Yeah.
In that you want to show this Porsche or a really fascinating part of this Porsche Hot Wheels straight away to hook the viewer. And then you're going to have a little bit more freedom to do more of a thorough intro if that's what you want to do.
I also think that the title kind of failed you here, because unboxing is a really hot term, and I see what you're going for, but you put it in the thumbnail and the title, free, like you're freeing the cars. You could have just done that with the thumbnail, and then it made sure you put unboxing, and you could even say unboxing the rare Hot Wheels Porsche, whatever, you know, like give people that little more of a reason to click. Like you pulled this out of the box and you say it's this really rare thing, you know.
It's interesting that, because the thumbnail is in one sense clever, but you have to understand exactly what the video is about before you can have these clever ideas. Because just looking at the image, you don't necessarily know it's an unboxing. If you had your hand like pulling a car out of a box and then it said, "I'm free," then that would tell a better story, but it's just not there yet. But I can see why the creators tried to do that. With the emotional intrigue, but it just doesn't have enough of a visual communication of what's happening there.
Yeah. Got a lot of potential though, man. A lot of potential. You just got to stay with it and really focus in on it. You know, I think this can go really well because there's a lot of room in that niche. So
welcome to your YouTube channel, Gerbil. Enjoy the hamsters. All right. I think that brings to conclusion.
That's it, man.
Oops, sorry. Does it bring, sorry, Dan. I just removed.
Bye, Dan.
That brings Dan to a conclusion. Right. Let's try this. Let's try and play some outro beat music. Which one did we decide on?
The terrible
the ducks. Right. Okay.
There we go.
Let's all chill, everyone, for the next hour. Or let's do some shout outs as we say goodbye to the following people who joined us. On this gerbil, it is Vlog NS. Goodbye to you. Donny Games, also goodbye to you. Dark Blaine, you are more than welcome for the stream. MS Plays, yes, Jeff is definitely saying farewell to you right now. Go on then. Abby Chad the Great, you can have a shout out on this one particular occasion. Home of a lazy gamer. You've just said your own channel name as a goodbye. Fair enough. And Calvin, thanks to you. Dan, you can say hello.
Oh, yeah.
What? All right. So peace, bro, to Moki, something like that. You're welcome to It's Z Boy HD or something like that. Acid Blocks, bye bye to you. Olivia, Ashley, no, I will not shout you out. You don't want that. That'll ruin your channel.
That's right.
K2, great video to you as well. And thanks, bro, to Keys Boating Channel.
Oh, yeah.
And Viper, who are you saying a goodbye to?
All right, we got here. Goodbye to Gosky Gamer 76. Goodbye to Crypto Crab. Goodbye to Maker DIY. And finally, goodbye to It's Caddy.
And Jeff, if you could stop vibing for just a couple of seconds, who are you saying goodbye to? Where's the music gone?
Oh no! All right,
was a
well I'll say
short
goodbye
track.
to some randos here.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got Exeter and Devin Drone. Goodbye to you. We can say goodbye to the Flaming Gamer, and we've also can say goodbye to my Aussie Garden and Kitchen. Thank you all for coming through.
Folks, it's been an honor and a privilege as always. Dan, you got 10 seconds to tell us what's happening tomorrow on the live stream.
Failure. Are you somebody who fails sometimes? Hey, that's okay. Join us tomorrow, and we're going to tell you why that's actually a good thing.
Hashtag
Alrighty.
fail gang.
Alrighty.
Fail,
And
gang.
so I want somebody who do you reckon has the best radio voice out of all of us?
That would be Dan.
Right,
What?
Dan. So can you do an outro as if you were on a radio station of like radio VidIQ?
Let me think about this. You put me on the spot here. I can't do it, man. You put me on the spot. It's too much.
Very good. Time's up.
Yeah, thank you.
Too much
Oh,
pressure.
press the wrong button. Hang on, I've got to do that all over again. There we go.